They told you the secret to winning her heart was constant attention, endless yeses, and being the man who never disappoints. But what if I told you that very habit is why she feels nothing? Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events." Realize this, and you will find strength. And in love, nothing draws her in more than a man who is strong enough to say, "Known script." The men who desire a woman the most often excite her the least, not because they lack attraction, but because they've surrendered their boundaries. They've given away the one thing that sparks a woman's deeper instinct. Challenge. There's a word so short it barely takes a breath, yet it can completely change the way she sees you. Not delivered in anger or arrogance, but in calm. Conviction. It's the quiet assertion that you live by your own compass. And she may walk beside you, but she will never steer you off course. In a world where most men chase approval, no is rare. It signals you're not easily swayed, that your value is not handed out cheaply. Seneca wrote, "He who is brave is free." Freedom in love comes when you are not chained by her reactions. Think of a man who cancels plans with his friends because she calls last minute. She may smile, but her instinct reads weakness. Now picture the man who says, "I can't tonight, but I'd love to see you Thursday." Instantly, the dynamic shifts. He is not a satellite orbiting her. He is a planet with his own gravity. Biology plays its part here. Women are wired to test for strength, not just physical, but emotional resilience. A man who can stand firm, even when he desires her, triggers something deeper than comfort. He triggers respect. Epictetus reminded us, "No man is free who is not master of himself." When you say no with steadiness, you're not pushing her away, you're drawing her closer. You become the rare man who can be warm yet unshaken, attentive yet independent. And in a sea of men who bend, you are the one she cannot quite bend to her will. That is the kind of mystery she will keep chasing. When you say no with calm conviction, you send a message deeper than words. I choose my own direction. You may walk beside me, but you will not change my course. Even if she does not consciously understand it, her instincts hear it loud and clear. This is when respect and attraction merge. But not every no has this effect. If spoken from insecurity, anger, or resentment, it destroys attraction. The right no is delivered with calmness, clarity, and confidence. Epictetus said, "No man is free who is not master of himself." True mastery is standing firm, without losing your balance. Machiavelli saw no as a weapon, not one to swing recklessly, but one to wield with precision. You do not need to shout it or impose it with force. You deliver it from inner control. When a woman realizes she cannot break you, you become the rare man who is not ruled by fleeting emotions. And what is rare? It's always irresistible. Yet modern culture hides this truth. Movies, TV, and advertising paint a fantasy. Be endlessly romantic, sacrifice everything, and make her the center of your universe, and she will love you forever. In Hollywood, the persistent nice guy wins her heart after countless acts of devotion. But reality is colder. Excessive availability and devotion kill desire, Seneca warned. Nothing is so bitter that a calm mind cannot find comfort in. In relationships, desire does not grow from certainty. It grows from the possibility of loss. When she knows you could walk away, her interest sharpens. When she feels you will always be there no matter what, her instinct relaxes and attraction fades. Consider this. In nature, it is not the prey that stands in the open that excites the hunter, but the one that appears and disappears. Hard to catch. In love, mystery is magnetic. Predictability is forgettable. Your path is clear. Live fully, hold your values, and keep your own orbit. Let her see you as a man with his own life. Then, when you say yes, it means something. And when you say no, it means even more. Men and women have always pursued the same ultimate goal, to pass on their genes, but their strategies are radically different. For men, biology leans toward quantity. Instinct drives us to expand opportunities, seek variety, and maximize potential. Offspring for women, the focus is on quality. She invests months carrying a child and years raising it, with a limited number of chances in her lifetime. This is why her instinct is tuned to seek the best possible partner, someone who offers not only good genes, but also protection, resources, and stability. In modern relationships, this plays out quietly. You may think you're in a popularity contest, but she's evaluating your deeper value or leadership, resilience, and potential to stand by her in adversity, often without you realizing. Marcus Aurelius said, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you carry yourself with quiet strength, she sees it. Many men approach attraction through a male lens. Be nicer, be more attentive, and she'll choose you. But niceness alone doesn't activate her instinct. A man can feel attraction instantly. A woman's instinct, however, still asks, is he a leader or a follower? Will he protect me if needed? Or is he here only for his own pleasure? Think of a storm at sea. She is not looking for the prettiest boat, she's looking for the one that can carry her safely to shore. If your actions show leadership, calm under pressure, and the ability to protect your course, you answer her instinctive test without saying a word. Epictetus reminded us, first say to yourself what you would be, and then do what you have. To do an attraction, this means knowing who you are and holding to it. When you understand her tests as instinctive rather than personal, you stop reacting with insecurity. Instead, you respond with calm, showing you are already the man she's searching for. A man who does not crumble under a woman's tests awakens something rare. Her instinctive recognition that she's in the presence of a leader. These tests are not always conscious. She doesn't sit down and plan them. They arise naturally, almost like a reflex wired deep in her biology. To succeed here, you must look beyond her words and hear what is unsaid. You must smile when others would panic. In the Stoic sense, as Marcus Aurelius advised, if you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. In Machiavellian seduction, tests are not traps, they are invitations. Invitations to prove you are among the rare men who lead instead of react. When you don't fall into her game, you change the game entirely. Most men think attraction is luck, being in the right place at the right time. The truth is far harsher. 99% fail not from lack of opportunity, but from lack of strategy. They present themselves as the perfect man to please her, instead of the man who challenges her. Seneca wrote, "It is not the man who has too little, but the man who craves more, that is poor." Craving her approval makes you poor in value. When you stop seeking to be liked and start creating intrigue, you shift into a different category. Access to you becomes a privilege. You stop competing for attention and instead become the center of her thoughts. A woman doesn't truly fall for what she fully understands. She falls for what keeps her mind engaged when you are not there. That's the essence of intrigue, and that's where lasting attraction lives. In attraction, most men think saying yes to everything makes them more desirable. In truth, nothing kills a woman's interest faster than a man without boundaries. No is not rejection, it's a declaration of value. It says what you offer is rare, not available to everyone or at any time. Carl Jung noted, psychic energy flows toward that which cannot be easily obtained. When you always say yes, you break this principle. You erase mystery and lower your value. But a strategic no awakens something powerful psychological. Reactance, the desire for what is denied. Suddenly, you're no longer the man who is always available. You become the man she has to earn. But this only works if your no is paired with calm and consistency. It's not a tantrum or fake superiority. It's the quiet confidence of a man whose life is full with or without her. Example, if she calls with a last-minute plan that disrupts your priorities, most men drop everything. The man who understands, this principle says, I can't tonight, but let's meet Thursday. You're not orbiting her, you have your own gravity. This also acts as a filter. She loses interest when faced with a healthy boundary. She was after what you could provide, not you. As Marcus Aurelius wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Saying no to what doesn't serve you is saying yes to your own worth. In a world where everyone seeks approval, no is rare, and rare is always attractive. When you stand firm in your decisions yet treat a woman with a touch that makes her feel valued, you awaken something deeper than desire, you awaken admiration. This balance allows you to say no without aggression, to correct without humiliation, and to set your terms without making them feel like threats. It's like leading a tango you guide, but she feels part of every move. Dark psychology teaches that the human mind responds better to power when it feels like a choice, not a command. When you impose your presence without force, she doesn't feel controlled. She feels she's following you willingly. The man of steel with a silk glove never begs, but he also never mistreats. He doesn't break under pressure, yet he doesn't ignore emotions. Strong in essence, gentle in form, this combination is addictive because it breaks the pattern. Marcus Aurelius said, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Strength without cruelty is unforgettable." Most men swing to extremes, too hard or too soft. But when you master both, you become a mystery, a man who can be warm yet unshakable. That mystery draws her in and keeps her there. A man who ignores his instinct is destined to lose. The one who listens to it almost always wins. Everything you've heard means nothing if you don't apply it. Knowledge without action is like an unloaded weapon. It may look intimidating, but it offers no protection. Real change begins when you decide to act. Seduction is not about charming words, but about understanding human nature. Emotions, instincts, and biological strategies play a greater role than we admit. Now, you have two paths. Walk away and hope life gives you what you want. Take control. Use these ideas, test them, and watch the dynamic with women shift. But here's the truth. Action is uncomfortable. You will need to say no when it's easier to say yes. You will need to stand strong when you feel like giving in. You must accept that not every woman will be for you, and that's a gift, because you're not for everyone either, Seneca said. It is not because things are difficult that we do not dare, but because we do not dare. They are difficult. Courage in action changes everything. The reward is not just attraction, but respect, power, and freedom. This is the mark of the rare man who understands the game and plays it better than anyone else.